Hello my friends and welcome. Finally, we have the official confirmation that Ukrainian forces liberated the Klishchiivka village. Again, we have this information with a little delay because according to my data, around 2 days ago, this village was already liberated. Maybe the delay with this announcement was connected to the Russian counterattack that they tried to perform 2 days ago unsuccessfully. I shared the video on my Telegram. By the way, my friends, you may subscribe for my Telegram group. It's in the video description just below. I share more news and stories over there. So Russia sent the reinforcements, they went under the fire and they were forced to retreat from this position. And our soldiers today took this photo in Klishchiivka showing that the village is liberated by Ukrainian army. On the other map resource, we have the confirmation, the same as we may witness on the deep state military map resource. Those are the territories that Ukrainian army was able to liberate in the last 24 hours. Strangely, but according to this military map, this part of the village is still under the Russian control, but it's just on this resource. On deep state military map, everything is liberated, everything is under control by Ukraine. But as you can see, Russians are still at this side from the railroad line over here. Let's go to the timeline. By the way, it was yesterday and it is today. It took lots of the time for Ukrainian army to liberate Klishchiivka and Andriivka. Why? Because we try to save the lives of the soldiers. We use mostly the artillery fire and that requires patience but constant job. I predict that the next move from Ukrainian army will be towards Kurdimivka and Ozaryanivka. And only after that Ukrainian army will move to Odradiivka and Opetne over here. Also, we have the big question about the northern part of the Bakhmut area. Definitely there is no movement for many weeks already. Kadyrov published this video on his Telegram channel, but he is not saying that, okay, this date is this, I am alive, everything is okay. He said something that is not connected to his current state. So the video could be old. But what we know so far that there are lots of the cars, expensive cars with Chechen region registration going to the hospital in Moscow, exactly the same hospital as I said to you in my last video. Yes, not ordinary cars, quite expensive cars. Also, according to the Russian resources, the private jet of Kadyrov is located in Moscow for already 3 days. It flown from Grozny city, Chechnya on 14th of September and since that time waiting for Kadyrov. Yet we are out of the robust evidence about the true condition of Kadyrov. I think that we should wait for a few more days. Alright, it seems like Ukraine again targeted the Russian best of the best air defense system S-400, which was located in Sevastopol. Today there was the big kaboom and after it the huge fire with explosions. This is the territory of the Russian air defense base where kabooms were registered. They have mainly S-400 air defense systems to protect the Russian Black Sea Marine Fleet in Sevastopol Bay. So it is the third time that Ukraine targets the Russian S-400 Triumph air defense system. And all of those were happening in Crimea. So what Ukraine uses to target those systems and not being identified by the air defense? Actually, the cruise missiles Storm Shadow and Scalp. They fly at the very low altitude and target the objects without being spotted by the air defense radars. According to the British Defense Intelligence, Russia started the reinforcement of Tokmak city. They create the new defense lines. The Tokmak, I would say it's not the city, it's the town, which located 16 kilometers away from the front lines. So now Russia is deploying additional forces, new checkpoints. They have the 58th Combined Arms Army in that region to protect Tokmak. So it will play the major role for the Russian defense in the future, and future is already happening. It's going to happen in autumn. The Ukrainian army is moving forward, breaking through the Surovikin lines, and Tokmak is going to be in the epicenter of the Ukrainian counterattack. The Ukrainian army successfully eliminated the Colonel Andrei Kondrashkin, who was the commander of the airborne brigade of the Russian army, to be more precise, the 31st Paratroop Brigade. And this particular colonel was not the only officer in that building. Again, Ukraine uses the long-range missiles like Storm Shadow, or maybe it was HIMARS. Again, one more sign that this war may last for many years. Jens Stoltenberg, the Secretary of NATO, today announced that the NATO countries should prepare for the long war. Unfortunately, my friends, it is reality. Russia still has lots of the resources. Ukraine kicks out the Russian air defense, this time on the front lines by eliminating 2 of the Buk air defense systems. My friends, I'll publish it on my Telegram channel, so don't forget to subscribe for me over there as well. We have the drone footage from Klishchiivka, and there are some of the Russian armored vehicles that they try to send for reinforcements. All of that stuff went totally kaput, as you can see. So again, mostly Russian infantry had to just run using their own feet. More signs that ATACMS will be transferred for Ukrainian army. Some of the senators from Republican Party signed the special letters, the address for President Biden to supply those missiles for Ukrainian army. Hopefully we're gonna get those very soon. I expect them to arrive to Ukraine early next year. The Russian channels confirmed that Ukrainian army was able to liberate Klishchiivka village, but they say something about the counterattack from the Russian side, and they were able to take some of the ground, but not the Klishchiivka, kind of the strange counterattack. Russia lost one more K-52 helicopter somewhere in Crimea, probably because of the reckless flying or the aviation accident. The helicopter was spotted just on the roads on this truck platform. Those damages could be caused by the hard landing. I think that this helicopter is out of order forever. Russia will not be able to restore it. It's better to produce the new one. The United States of America will send the special printer to print the spare parts for the armored vehicles and other equipment that Ukraine uses on the front lines. Yes, it could be also done like that. This is the industrial portable 3D printer. It may print not just plastic but also metal parts. Basically, it is the automatic welding machine. Well, here we can see that the house being printed on this printer, so we'll have the similar one but for welding the iron. The big visit of Kim Chen-in to Russia is over, yet we are out of the information whether Russia successfully negotiated the supplyment of the artillery and rocket shells to the Russian army from the North Korea as exchange for the food supplies. What we know so far that the North Korea will open their embassy on the occupied territory of Donbass. One more military coup in Africa, this time in Congo, the Republic of Congo to be more precise. The president of this country is now in New York, and army takes the critical buildings in the capital city. The local media resources say that the leader of this coup is the chief of the president's guard. Yeah, there were lots of the military coups recently in Africa. My friends, don't forget to press the like to this video, and if you want to support my channel, there will be some of the links in the video description just below. Special thanks for my Patreon supporters and the sponsors of my YouTube channel. Guys, you are awesome. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.